Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for Living Local, your lifestyle show for everything Charleston. I'm Ashley Meservey. It's Medical Monday here at East Cooper Medical Center. Today we're talking about a dad's role in the breastfeeding process.
Medical Monday, sponsored by East Cooper Medical Center.
Okay, so today we're talking about women's health, and specifically when it comes to breastfeeding, because that's your area.
Correct.
How can a dad, I think it could be probably a bit of a scary thing for first-time fathers. How can they impact the whole process?
They can have an instrumental impact on the whole process. They've actually done studies that have shown that a woman's significant other has the most influence on her decision to actually breastfeed versus formula feed her baby. And dads and partners can start by being very involved even before baby has been delivered, being proactive and coming to the breastfeeding classes that moms can take prenatally. It provides a wealth of information on areas that they can help mom in, things to expect, how the baby's going to act, hurdles that they're going to have to overcome, so dads can give a lot of support along the way.
And that support a lot of times has to deal emotionally too, because they're exhausted. This is a new experience for just first-time moms,
Correct.
But I think every time I'm sure it's a stressful endeavor. What are some of the things you try to prepare dads for when it comes to this?
So we kind of show moms, dads, partners what to expect. The big thing is the baby's behavior and how the baby will be so sleepy at periods that, oh my gosh, they're not going to want to wake up and feed, and how dads can help moms get the baby awake just by unwrapping, tickling, changing diapers. There's also a period of time where babies do cluster feeding, where they want to be feeding at the breast nonstop. That's extremely exhausting for moms. I always like to tell them, you're going to tag team it. Mom's going to be actually doing the feeding at the breast, but dad, you're going to be the one picking up the baby and doing the burping and changing the diaper in between and settling and swaddling, so that they really are working as a team effort. It's kind of the key, I like to think, is you're making it become a triad instead of a dyad. Instead of just being mom and baby, it's mom, baby, and dad or partner. So it's the three instead of just the two, because it really involves everyone.
So I've had friends who've had children, and they tell me, what to expect when you're expecting, You've heard about that. And so what I always find is that the emotional toll that it takes on a female, when, especially if the baby isn't eating or they're not getting it, like they're not able to pick up breastfeeding, or they're just feeling like they're not getting it. What are some of the ways that a dad, other than the support through burping and things like that, emotionally, what can they do? Well,
the key thing really is just saying, you know what, you're doing great. You're doing great. Offering that constant feedback and support. They can also be there helping them get the baby positioned. Watching when the nurse comes in to watch how, oh, that's how the latch is supposed to look, so that they're like, oh, let's see if we shift something a little bit here, or let me help you move that pillow. It's really just all of the kind of subtle support areas that dad can do. Things as simple as, it's very exhausting physically too for mom when she's feeding and she's thirsty and hungry, and just coming over with a glass of water and a little snack for her while she's eating can just be that one little boost that she needs during that feeding when she's struggling.
Okay, so when you get real with a couple, okay, and you're trying to explain to them, these are all the things. So if you had a handful of things that you want them to be prepared for, what are they?
Be prepared to be totally unprepared.
Okay.
Really, breastfeeding takes work. It's a natural process, but it takes a lot of work. I always say there's a big learning curve that you have to go over, and there's a lot of little hurdles along the way. I like to say breastfeeding is kind of like a wave, kind of ups and downs here and there. So be prepared for those changes. Be prepared for needing to wake your baby up. They're not always going to want to eat. Sometimes you need to wake them up to eat. Be prepared for figuring out how you're going to soothe that baby. Just all the little bumps in the roads that happen.
So you have to be flexible and willing to kind of learn as you go.
Yes.
You can't have it all planned out. So when it comes to, we were talking about the dad's role, and talk about how important it is that he's involved as far as bonding with the child.
Well, that, like I said, is one of the big questions Dad always have. are how can I bond with my baby if I'm not giving the baby food. Very often dads will want to start introducing a bottle early on, and the key is to remember that it's really not recommended that any bottles be introduced till the baby's about a month old or beyond, so that they can do the bonding through skin to skin. It's a wonderful practice. Not just moms need to do skin to skin. Babies love being skin to skin with dads. They can be doing the diapering, bathing. I like to say dads can do the dancing routine. Just hold that baby and kind of swaddle them and swing them around in their arms. Babies love to be dancing with dads. And as I said earlier, dads are probably the best ones for burping. Babies burp great for dads. So I always like to say, you know, you got this. The baby needs to burp and you're the best one to do this. It's really letting them know that they are such an integral part of the whole process and they're not meant to be left out, that it really is a group effort.
And as far as, I know you said they can't be prepared, but what are some of the things they could do before the baby comes?
The biggest thing is really attend the prenatal classes.
Okay.
Come to the breastfeeding classes that the hospital offers or your local doctor's offices offer. Be prepared so that they know what to expect, so that they're aware and realistic of the hurdles that they might have to overcome. And also really just doing lots of research. You know, knowledge is wonderful, even for dads. They may not be the ones doing the feeding, but being knowledgeable about the process and what to expect with baby and mom will really help a long way.
Okay. And as far as the events, or how can people find out more information about these classes?
So we offer classes here at East Cooper. They can just check on the hospital website and there's information on our prenatal classes that are available. If it's people who aren't in this area, typically I always say contact your hospitals. Most hospitals who have an obstetrical unit will have some sort of outpatient resources, or check with your OBGYN, they should have some information. You can also find information, a lot of times WIC has prenatal classes that they do classes on different things, so you can always check with the WIC department locally too.
All righty, well thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.